Good evening, everybody. This is Travis with Contractor Verified and Allure Real Estate, and I am here joined by Emma of Blue Collar Barbie and Contractor Verified.
Why are you pointing backwards?
I don't know. Like, I'm still awkward when I do it. And Liz down here, our exclusive mortgage sponsor. The best mortgage broker in Austin. I could say that we've done quite a few deals now, Liz. Yeah. So like every single person loves Liz more than me. I know that's somewhat of a low bar, but like it's still not like, like it's still worth something to say that, right? But as always, I got to share this to the other groups and then we'll get it kicked off. Don't worry, that part will be in the podcast, especially when we send it to Spotify.
Emma, what does your hat say?
Lucky me, I see money.
Oh, yeah. I love it. Hey, we need to look at our schedules and reschedule.
I know, because of the snow. Yeah, let's I'll call you after this and we'll figure something out.
Okay.
All right. The snow that only kind of was.
I got like literally nothing.
Me either. I just got
a dusting. How often is it though that Houston and the coast gets more snow than we do? I'm salty about it.
A single time in my life where that's happened.
Yeah. They actually called it Gulf effect snow. You know how they have like lake effect snow up north? They said because it was a bunch of moisture when we had the cold air, this moisture came rolling in off the Gulf, and that's where all the snow came from. So like all Houston, Louisiana, all those places, we were lucky. Pflugerville, we got a dusting. It was icy. I definitely used it as an excuse to not go anywhere on Tuesday. But other than that, like they canceled all the schools. So down here though, like even a chance of ice, and they're like, you know what? We'll see y'all next week. It's like it's Tuesday. It'll be 68 on Thursday. It's cool. See y'all next week.
And out here in the hill country, they didn't cancel. It was business as usual. So I know.
Well, I mean, if y'all didn't get any snow or ice, then like, why not? Just because it's cold doesn't mean school gets canceled.
Yeah, explain that to children, though.
Yeah.
Hey, explain that to the teachers, all right? They're the I guarantee you teachers were up like, please cancel, please cancel, please cancel. Not that we would know anything about that. So, like I was saying in the intro, Liz is our exclusive mortgage sponsor. She's absolutely amazing. Like we work together on a lot of deals. Everybody loves her, and not only that, but she's just this huge wealth of knowledge. So I'm excited to have her on tonight. And Liz, the rates are kind of calming down a little bit, like
it's been a boring day. Boring few days in the world of mortgage. Not much has happened, which is kind of refreshing, to be honest with you.
Yes, starting to stabilize. I think also, and I've talked to a few people, and I'm sure this is you as well, like seeing activity pick up. I think people are understanding that this is the market and this is the rates, and also that there are some amazing deals out there, and lenders have programs right now. I'm sure you can tell us about those, like the 0 down, 0 PMI, where like if you don't have PMI, that's worth having like a whole, a half a point, 3/4 of a point off of your mortgage rate.
Yeah, because it's typically FHA is your standard down payment assistance, and that's set at a 0.55. So I mean, that's
juicy. To not have PMI right there alone is like that puts you back into the high fives, maybe low. I guess we can't say specifically.
A little bit. Yeah. DPA rates are always a little bit higher just because there's a little more risk associated. But like T-Shack, I mean, you can go on T-Shack's website and look at the rates they're advertised. It's a very transparent program. But you're going to have MI with that one. But it's great. It's a 3-year, and it's fully forgiven as long as you live in the house. And add MCC with that. I mean, I don't know if y'all know that program or not, but it's a 15% of the interest you pay back on your federal income taxes for the life of the loan, as long as you live in the house as your primary residence. It's huge money. $90,000 plus dollars.
Yeah.
Program.
I want to know more about that. Can we chat about that later?
Yeah.
Okay. So Emma here, obviously, no offense, but Emma is she's in her early 20s. So she's not quite yet bought a house, but
okay.
She's
still
I don't want to buy a house till later.
I know, but we're just going to use you as an example. Okay. So hop along for the ride on this. And we're going to use fake numbers. So everybody, these are fake numbers. But Emma is, she's fresh along here. So she doesn't have a lot of established credit, but she has some. And let's say she's at 6 figures. Let's say she makes $150K a year.
Dang, girl.
Which in Austin, like we've seen, an interesting sidebar is, I think, what is the number, Liz? Like 73% of single person buyers.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So like when it's only one person as opposed to a couple, the person who's buying a house is almost 3/4 of the time it's a woman and not a man. So Liz, there's 2 things that would be holding you back in this situation from buying a house. Can you tell us what one of those is? Or Emma, there'd be one main thing that'll be holding you back, because Emma's only worked with us for less than a year.
If there's one thing holding me back from buying a house?
Yes. What do you think that would be? Save a 750 credit. You're going to clear 150K. Can you buy a house?
Probably not.
No. Why is that, Liz?
I'm assuming she's paid like as a contractor, right? So she doesn't have a 2-year history.
Not yet.
1099. Are you 1099?
Yeah. That's one of the only things, though. If you have 2 years of history, whether you're 1099, your K1, your W2, K1 obviously gets tricky because a lot of K1s, you're trying to not pay as much as possible in taxes, but then you need to show income. So it looks like you can actually buy the house, but y'all have programs for that as well, don't you, Liz?
Yeah, do bank statement, write all that income off, do
bank statement loans, which again, those are a little bit higher than your government backed loans, but they're still a really good deal. And it's still better than paying income taxes in my personal.
Oh, 100%. Second thing though, Emma, so let's say you've been in this line of work before going 1099 and you've been doing this, for 5 years. And now you've switched companies and now you have a full 12 months of history as 1099. So you're going to have 1 year of tax return. On that tax return, it's going to say you did 365. You have the full year. You can 100% use that income, but you have to have the history. There's got to be a compensating factor.
Right.
Yeah. So that hard 2-year rule sometimes has some like caveats in it, depending on what you did before and how that, how the title and the responsibilities of this new position line up. But
I have, lenders I've seen where you can, if you're in the same industry, it makes it a lot easier if you're just switching companies within the industry. But even if you have like the same type of job title, but in a different situation, then, it's a little bit different then, But yeah. So the 2-year hard rule isn't super hard. And so, there is right now so many different programs to help people. I've told people, Liz, and we had a deal like this last year where you can get into a house cheaper than you can get into a rental right now.
True.
Rentals want first and last month's rent, deposit, pet rent, pet deposit, all that stuff. And we had a buyer last year who walked away from the closing table with like $600
with a check.
and the keys to the
That's
house.
where those down payment assistance programs come in. You get a seller who's willing to work with you.
Yes.
You get the concessions to cover the closing cost. You do a high enough down payment assistance where I can even pay some of the closing costs. I mean, there's ways where you can get your minimum investment is your 3.5%. So if you're getting more DPA, there's times you can get some of like your earnest money back. So
yeah,
it's great.
it's a fantastic situation. It is, like we talked about, the interest rates are what they are, and I don't think we're going to see a ton of movement this year, up or down.
I don't think,
but
I think we might see a little bit come down if energy prices come down. I think that will be our first. Energy prices come down, inflation comes down.
Absolutely. And oil has started to drop over the last few days, but it's still at 75. But natural gas has dropped a decent amount too. We'll see what happens. Hopefully that does happen. And hopefully we get a drift down in that. But like I said, I'm already seeing a lot of activity because there's just such good deals out there right now. There really are.
Very busy.
We found a house in Victoria we're getting it for a little over 200, and it's going to rent out for 19. Like
cash flow.
That's a killer deal right there. There's a few in Austin. They're starting to get caught up a little bit, but there's a few hanging around in Austin, even in the good zip codes, that are in the 2s. So
that's awesome.
What's that?
I said that's awesome. I mean, this is what people are looking for too, and especially those first-time home buyers is affordability. If you can find houses like that, you change people's lives.
Absolutely. I really still think the affordability line is about $300 to $350 for this area. I think if you're in Houston or Dallas and San Antonio, it's a little bit lower just because I've seen nice houses there that you can get inside kind of like the inner loops of those cities. Like Austin doesn't have a loop, right? But each of those cities kind of has an inner loop, and you can get houses inside of there for $250, $225 that are livable and nice. That's what you start off owning. The vast majority of people don't start off with an $800,000 house in Treviso. That's just not how it works, no matter how cool the name of that neighborhood is, because it's named after me.
My first house was $295.
My first house was $177, Victoria. This one that I got here in Pflugerville, 3,500 square feet for $325 in 2019. I could not afford to buy this house again if I wanted to.
It's unbelievable.
I love
it. That's
it.
awesome. Well, let's help some other people get into homes. And Emma, maybe one day, how old are you? Just curious.
22.
So I'm seeing that the average age of first-time home buyers right now is 38. And when Travis and I were coming into buying a home, it was actually 26. Yeah. So the average age, because of affordability, has increased. So, I mean, I don't know. I've built my wealth through real estate, so I see the value, and it makes me sad that we're seeing the age go up. So I'm hoping there's some correction and affordability in houses. And
right. Yeah, it's insane.
I think we've seen some of that. Like rents have come down over the last year. Prices certainly have come down since 2022. Yeah. I know in this area in particular, though, I think we still have a ways to go to meet the affordability for the median income earner of this area, unfortunately. So
especially that 50% to 80% AMI, like that gap in between there, those are the home buyers that have to have a second job to be able to qualify. But it'd be nice to see that specific bracket have some more options for affordability.
Absolutely. And There's always ideas out there. One of my goals has always been affordable housing, to go and build like they used to, some 2.2s, some 3 1.5s that are 800 or 900 square feet. I know people call them tiny homes now, but like actual slab in the ground, pier in a beam, like real houses. They have them all over East Austin. That's what they used to build in the 50s and 60s when we needed more housing. So we should build some more of those, because Emma, do you want a 2,500 square foot house, or would you prefer to have a 3 1.5 that's like 1,100 square feet?
Travis, I think you know the house.
She's bougie. I forgot. She's like, we went to this one house that was $3 million, and she was like, just advertise me with this listing that I come with the house.
Like I still look at the videos I took of that house. Still,
We're gonna go see
Girl,
another
dream
really
big.
cool
someone bought it.
Hey, but there's always others out there.
one. Oh yeah.
Dream big, sister. Dream
$3
big.
million,
and-
$3 million houses in Travis Heights are like, there's 20 of them we could go see tomorrow.
Well, so my first house was right over 3,000 square feet, and we lived there for 3 years and downsized to right around 2,000 square feet. Just, it was too much. Cleaning a 3,000 square foot house. No, thank you. And
The
then
second
now,
living room we have upstairs is like, it doesn't get used.
oh, it collects dust. So I don't know. I think maybe as time goes on, Emma, and you never know what the future holds, but
Yeah.
I'd still say dream big. If you want that, go after it. I love it.
Yeah, she's probably going to get it, because well, and the thing is too, is, her, like anybody else at 22, you have the opportunity to make all sorts of income in all sorts of new and cool ways that didn't even exist 5 years ago. I don't think Emma's position existed for most companies 5 years ago, and now it's very prominent amongst most companies. If you don't have a social media marketing person, and you don't have a person, in our case, she also helps with the events. Like, if we didn't have Emma, we'd be up a hill rolling a boulder,
Well, we know your organizational and paperwork. That's why we need Emma.
Yes, that's why I have a transaction coordinator. Shout out to Jamie Martin with Collecting Contractors,
Jamie!
who puts up with, gosh, that poor woman, like
She's an
sometimes, like multiple days in a row, she's just like, Travis, please send me this.
adore her. I
She's
just
a
go,
saint. She's wonderful though. She gets it all on time. Like, she makes the magic happen. And I'm forever grateful for you and her. So you and her, like I said, every deal I work on, she does my transaction coordinating. And on almost every buyer and on a couple of seller deals recently, if there's a lender that I can refer, it's you I'm sending out. So we've had that good opportunity.
That's an awesome deal too.
It just makes the transaction so much easier, because everybody can communicate. And also for y'all, if y'all get in a deal and you turn in your paperwork, Liz will get you that clear to close by 15 days, like 90% of the time.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
That's true. I mean, and look, it's not just me. I can't take full credit for it. The people that y'all never see in the background, they're the best in the business. And I'm so grateful for Jacob and Kelly. I mean, they work so hard and they never get any credit. So shout out to Jacob and Kelly at KHI Processing too. So they're awesome.
They are not only do they not get the credit, but they get the brunt whenever, because they're the ones that have to ask for the documents.
Yeah.
And
up to where it's not so bad.
What's that?
We do a lot of the legwork. We do a lot of the legwork on the front end just to make it a clean submission.
For sure. But you're always going to have people like Travis that, that, like, are just a day late on it. And you're like, seriously, please. Like, I don't know. Y'all are fantastic though. There's yet to be a situation where we've waited on y'all in any type of deal. And I've started working with Patent Title recently. Shout out to them. They're sponsoring our February event. And the deal that I just closed there with them, that we closed from in my neighborhood. They were fantastic with it. They were fantastic with the communication. I loved
Their
working.
communication was unbelievable, like spot on.
And they gave me a bottle of tequila.
They were really great.
I'm a
Alice
big
has
fan.
mentioned this bottle of tequila. I kid you not, for like the last 3 podcasts.
Look, if you want, hey, I'm a simple human. All right, feed me, get me tequila, maybe some hats to wear.
I'm gonna give you a taco, a bottle of tequila, and a hat, and be like, "Hey, Travis, can I have a raise?"
It would probably work. It would
So I
probably
feel
work.
like I'll wear a hat too, and we can be.
Well, apparently, what I'm doing is hat fishing because I'm bald, but I have to be growing out my hair for when we dye it pink. So
Let's see how it's looking. Show everyone.
What, for cancer awareness or
Show the
something?
world.
no, it's because
He drank too much, and I made him shake on it.
yeah, I agreed to something. Which in real estate, by the way, if you're intoxicated and you sign a contract, that is not a valid contract. One of the few things I actually learned in real estate school. So congratulations on that.
Hey, I'm
yeah,
doing
I
dry
agreed
January,
to apparently let Emma dye my hair, and then she put a poll out, and Pink won hands down, and probably the least surprising victory ever. And so I will have a pink beard and hair for about a week until I have to go to any meeting.
He thinks that we're gonna dye his beard pink and his hair. He thinks within a week that the pink is gonna be gone.
No, that's not how that works.
No, I mean, like, what I'll have to do is I'll have to shave it out, like
bald.
I will have to be shiny.
What about your beard?
That's got to go too.
I can't leave the house for a few days. I don't even own a razor.
I don't even know.
Like an actual straight razor.
Travis, have you ever not
I
had
think
a
the
beard?
last time I was clean shaved was 2006.
That was a long time ago. I was 4.
Yeah, you were like. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Liz and I were already out of college by then.
I was literally not even in
Anniversary.
kindergarten yet.
When is
Yeah.
your anniversary? Because I feel like maybe if it timed right, it should align with your anniversary because your wedding pictures you were
He
clean
just
shaven.
had his anniversary.
my anniversary is November 1st.
Trying to help you right.
So, and it'll be lucky number 11 this year. So, I'm kind of excited about.
I tried.
that.
Trying to time it for Dean.
What's that?
I was trying to time it so she could have a clean shaven husband for an anniversary date
No,
night.
she likes me with the beard. She does not want me to shave my beard off. She's only known me with it.
Even worse for you.
She's not excited about the pink hair situation.
I cannot wait for you to have pink hair.
It is what it is. So, long story short, I know y'all hear a lot about interest rates. I know y'all hear a lot about the market, and there's a ton of noise about it. If you're looking to buy a house right now, there is a stack of good deals, and there's a ton of ability to get you in the house for very little to no out of your pocket, or at least much less than you would to get into a rental. I promise you, contact me, contact Liz, contact any of the realtors in our group, contact Liz, and she can help y'all. She can will sit there, talk to you, and be really honest and frank with you about it. She's not going to butter you up, but she used to be a teacher also. So she's just amazing at explaining, why you are where you're at, what you need to do, because every single person can buy a home. It's just a matter of, okay, you need to do these steps. There's so many people who think, oh, I could never buy a house. And then they talk to somebody like Liz, and 45 days later, they're closing on their first home because they actually do make enough money. What's that?
Right. Like fear, I feel like drives a lot of people or keeps them from being able to take the next step. I promise I'm not scary. Don't let that fear stand in the way of the goals. Like I'm just an average Joe too,
when you are in your real estate journey, when you are looking for a house, you should absolutely 100% feel the entire time that your realtor and your lender are on your team, have your back, are on your side. And if you don't feel like that, then something is not going as well as it should. Realtors have fiduciary duty to put your interest before ours, and lenders, some lenders have very stringent, like Liz, have very stringent ethical and moral standards. So, and everybody wants to win, right? Like nobody gets paid unless the house gets closed. Everyone wants to get you in the house.
Right. Dreams don't happen either, right? We all started with a dream of, I never anticipated, like you were kind of saying about Emma's job, I never anticipated real estate becoming this big of a, factor in my life. I didn't grow up with that mentality. So I think it's a cool story for people to come back and build up the next generation for that. Because really that's what the purpose is, like that generational wealth and rolling it down and teaching the people coming up. I don't know. It's all good. Like, I'm very happy to have those conversations. I'm grateful to have the platform to be able to reach more people and partner with Contractor Connection and Emma and all the things we're doing to, just spread, what the truth is. So I think it's awesome.
I like the dispelling the fear part, because that is, before I bought my first house, I could have bought my first house probably a year or two before I did, but I didn't think it was possible, and that's what it comes down to. And if you're already owning a house, then you're already on the ladder. You might be in a situation where it doesn't make sense to sell right now and doesn't make sense to buy. Like for me, it makes no sense to sell. But if you are renting and you're planning on staying in Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, Houston, Victoria, Waco, wherever you're watching this from, and you're planning on staying there for more than 5 years, buy the house and build some wealth for yourself. And if you can, hold on to that house for as long as you can. Maybe you have to sell one to get to your second one, but by that second one, when you move out, turn it into a rental. If you can stack houses and own them over 10 to 15 to 20 years, I can think of very, very few situations over the last 80 years of the American economy where you would have lost money by doing that, by buying houses and holding them for 10, 15, 20 years. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Liz, but whether it was the 50s, the 70s, even if you had bought in 2006 and gone through the 2008 crash, by the time 2016 was back around, the prices had recovered. And
2007 was when we bought our first house.
Yeah.
And within 3 years, even during that whole economic crash, we still walked away with a $30,000 plus.
Exactly.
On top of the down payment. So you can't tell me that it doesn't happen. So I would be willing to have that conversation if somebody thinks what we're saying is incorrect, because I would want to find out where that information is coming from and kind of talk through that.
Absolutely. What we will do too is we're going to drop another post that has your business card for people who are looking, and I'll pin it up at the featured, do a big tag, and so they can reach out to you. I did have a verified member who's an owner of a company, obviously not going to name names or anything, sent him to you a couple of days ago. I don't know if he's reached out to you yet or not, but they are looking. People are looking right now. But Liz,
I think there's a lot of misconceptions there too, that you have to pay all the taxes and have the tax returns to show all the income you make. That's not true. Just have your deposits going into either your business or personal and keep that organized. And you only need 12 months to show. You're good.
It's really good. It's really possible. And I've helped a few people buy a house that way. So, but Liz, I would love for you to stick around and find out what is your biggest pet peeve.
Let's do it.
All right.
I'm interested to hear what y'all's are.
All right, Emma, are you ready?
Yes.
Hold on, I gotta get my list.
She made a list, which of course she did.
But I need to just do like
I'm
my
trying to think.
best one.
Like there's
Oh, slow freaking walkers. When you're like walking somewhere, right? You're like with your friend, you say, and you're walking, and there is like someone in front of you who is walking so slow. I don't know what it does, but it like brings out a different type of anger in me. That is like my number one pet peeve. But I also have really long legs, so I think that's why, because I do walk really fast.
You do, because you're not actually that tall, but when you wear heels, you look like a freaking basketball player.
I know. Well, that's because my heels are like this big. Travis hates it because I like tower over him.
I'm 5'6". There's not much I can do about it, you know?
You could wear heels.
So my first one is taxes. Taxes are probably my biggest pet peeve. I hate paying taxes on money I make, and then when I turn around, I have to pay taxes when I buy something, and on my house, I have to pay taxes for owning my house, and I have to pay taxes for having employees, which you think they would want you to have employees, but they're like, no, we're going to punish you.
Deanna just said 5'6".
I know, Deanna's bringing the heat. All right, first off, I am 5'6". That's what my driver's license says. All right.
I'm gonna take a picture of this.
So,
this is greatness.
That's amazing. Yo, Travis, I think you might be like 5'5", like me.
look, that's another pet peeve I have. All right, is like I'm 5'6". All right, damn it, Deanna, get out of here.
Oh yeah, Lily's doing some good ones.
Emma, you apparently hate when Tux licks his paws.
I hate licking. I hate the noise.
So I'm with you on this. Like, I love my dogs, and I have big dogs, but when they lay next to us and they start doing the licking noise, I'm like, y'all need to get out of the room right now.
It is awful. Like I hate, and like, oh, because I used to be at Lily's house every single day when she lived in Bernie, and like when Tux licks his paws 24/7, like I was literally like, oh my god, yeah, I would go and sleep in the guest room instead of in her room with her.
So funny.
What's one for you, Liz?
Oh gosh. Okay, so I have Gen Z kids, and this new lingo that these Gen Zers are using. I can't. It's so dumb.
I always thought like I would be the cool parent that would be able to get along with it and, you know, like roll with it. But like skibbity riz toilet, like I can't do it. Although
so
I have
smart.
learned.
You literally
Emma,
say toilet all the time.
yeah, whatever Emma just said. I have used Riz and Moggin, and the aesthetic is aestheticing.
He says that all the time. That's his favorite.
Yes. And then also earlier when we were talking about something, I was like, this just gives some kind of hood vibes to it, you know? It gives hood vibes.
Travis is basically like one of the
I
girls.
did make that one up, and that's okay. It is real, all right? Like, Lily's such a hater, all right?
Which
And
one
for
is
the record,
real?
Lily's
Is
over
she-
here hating on people for being short when she's 4'11". So,
Oh, I'm officially like a whole foot taller than Lily. I'm 5'11".
yeah, see, Lily, there you go.
But I do
Isn't
love
Jessica
Lily.
even taller than you? Isn't Jessica like 6 feet tall, or is she like 5'10"?
I think she's 5'10".
I need to message her. I haven't talked to her in a little bit. See how she's doing. She's like running the world right now.
She's a boss babe.
She is, yes. That is a woman on a mission.
Oh, yeah. And
I've
she's
always-
going to get there.
Yeah. I think
Other
another
pet peeves. This is good. I haven't really
Yeah.
thought of this.
I think another pet peeve I have is when people message me on like 7:30 on a Sunday morning about something that didn't need to be asked at 7:30 on a Sunday morning,
Dude, boundaries.
which
For
very
sure.
few things do, you know?
Yep. That to me, it's a boundary thing, but I would say another pet peeve of mine is just flat out being rude. Like,
Oh
we live in
gosh.
a world where you can be anything, be kind. Like, it's just so simple. It's free. I cannot handle just rudeness. It's not necessary.
No, I always try to be, especially in the, in business conversations and everything, as calm as possible. I feel like I put off a pretty calm demeanor, even though I am somewhat of a bouncy individual, But I try to keep my highs and lows, especially right in between like a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
So
But if
I
somebody
do
tells
better
you-
at it the older I get. This is
tell them you're
one.
welcome.
This is one that I think Liz can relate to, and Emma, you're just going to have to wait to find out.
Oh, been there, done that.
So literally, I had to call Deanna at work today while I'm at home to help me find where the AAA batteries were.
That's okay. Justin's in the pantry going, babe, where's the cornbread? And it's staring him right in the face. Like, he can't. I think that's a man thing.
It is, and I'm not going to name the situation, but for probably the first time in our 10 plus years of marriage, I found something in the fridge that she couldn't find and like almost cried.
That doesn't happen in my house.
I still don't know how it happened.
You found lemons.
I found some lemons, yes.
That's pretty impressive.
Emma, what's your next pet peeve?
I don't feel like opening my list. What did I say? I said slow walkers.
Can we build off of that and just throw slow drivers in the mix? Like,
yeah, we can. But also,
I drove down the
you would
Mopac
you would
Expressway.
drive so freaking fast. I was in front of Travis today driving. I kid you not. The second that we got out of the neighborhood, he was like immediately around me. I was like, okay, you're so cool, Travis.
I'm not. I have.
Hashtag 114.
I do drive quickly. I've toned it down from the 114 days, totaling my car into
down to 113.
I feel like Deanna has a lot of pet peeves that are related to me.
I think all of her pet peeves are you.
Yes. But to be fair, she does the driver teacher thing when she's in the road, like, oh, you're too close to the car, and like starts grabbing onto the oh shit bar that doesn't exist, or slamming on the brakes. Or...
You don't have an oh shit handle?
No, I don't.
He drives a Tesla.
Travis acts like his life is GTA. This is like a Travis hater club.
It really is. I mean, everybody just pile on in. I do like to drive fast though. Like, and I, like
fast too.
I have a lot of places to go that are really far drives. I like to make that Houston drive because I like to drive that Houston drive pretty quick because you can make it in 2 hours. You can literally shave like 30 minutes off. That's a decent amount of time just by going 90. Look, yeah. I've been passed by DPS going 90 before, so I don't want to hear it. State troopers and cops,
because your car is faster than theirs. There's no point in even trying to go after you. If I did, I would be screwed.
No, well, yes, you would be, but like mine's quicker, not faster. Teslas have a governor on them, so like you can only go. I think my max is at 135. Cop cars don't have a governor on them. Now, if I was driving like a Ferrari or one of those crotch rockets, yeah, they don't really try to chase those people because like you're just not going to. Yeah, slow drivers really get to me. I was on the expressway, that one lane that Mopac has for the express, and there's a minivan, and there's 14 of us behind it. The minivan's going 55, which is technically the minimum for that lane. But like, I was behind that person watching the people who didn't go on the express lane go faster than us, just having like an Office Space moment, like why I was really losing it.
Can you pin Lily's comment
about her making soup?
Yes.
Okay.
I just feel like she wanted a shout out for that.
All right. I'm just surprised. I'm just glad that she can reach the stove at her height. So
I know it must be hard. She has like a step stool though.
definitely, probably like at least like a 2-step ladder or something.
She's about to get mad at us and start calling.
The audacity.
The audacity.
Is she really 4'11"? This is a true story. This is not something
She's
we're
not actually 4'11", but
She swears that she's 5'3" and
5'1"
she's
or
not.
5'2".
She's like 5 foot. She said if I could drop my
Let's have
memes.
fire memes. It's one of the reasons we work well together.
There's great memes. I make them send me memes in the morning all the time. But y'all have been slacking this week.
We've been focused.
That's
We've
good.
been about it.
Now she's saying she's 5'4". Lily, I am 5'5". You are not 5'4" in any
Look, if
world.
I'm 5'5", then Lily is legit 5 feet tall. All right, that's all I'm
There's
going to
no
say.
way, Lily.
I love it.
People who use the emergency lane as a turning lane. That's another good one. I think if I had to go probably, and you go for another one though, I'd go back to taxes because taxes upsets me multiple times a week. It really does. It's a lot of money, Liz. Like we paid last
It is a
year,
lot of money.
$14,000 in property taxes.
But like, aren't you
Stupid.
used to it now?
That doesn't. No, I'm never going to be used to this. But hey, how about this, Emma? Give me $14,000 every year for the rest of your life. Let me know when you're. Let me know when you start to get used to that.
What if I just didn't?
Well, if you're the city, the state, or the county, then at some point they're going to come take your house.
I get a lien put on
I
your
feel
property.
I feel like I could make a run for it.
I mean, you could make a run, and they'll just keep your house. Like they're like, okay, you know. Like,
Deanna just
Or
called
you
you
go
out.
off to pay that off and then have somebody take it from you over taxes. You know?
yeah, exactly.
And then you get to pay interest on your taxes if you don't pay it on time. So then it becomes a double bird. Like,
You know what I
all
have a problem
for-
with? Why are your eyes closed, Travis? Oh,
I'm
okay.
thinking about taxes. It's like when they asked Ben Driver what he, like how he got into, some of the evil characters that he's done. And he was like, I just think about taxes and traffic and I'm there. Hey, come here.
Okay.
I have a visitor real quick.
aw.
Say hi.
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 Oh my gosh, he's totally your mini.
Oh, he is. The pictures from when I'm 2 and 3 compared to what he looks like now are spot on. He also doesn't sit still. So, hey, you got to be quiet if you're going to be in here, okay? I love him so much. I love that age so much. Like, he's our last baby. Liz, how old is your youngest one?
He's about to be 11. I know.
There's my 7-year-old. Thank you, Alexander. Yeah, so I love this stage that play with each other. Hey, shh, total silence. And they also destroy the house constantly, so we don't like have nice things or anything like that. But I just love being dad at this age. Come home, they're all excited to see you. I feel like I'm from that CNN clip where that guy's trying to do an interview and like the kid crawls in and then the nanny crawls in afterwards and pulls the kid out. Hey, seriously, we all go ahead and go, please. I know, I love you, but I want to finish.
Well,
this up.
enjoy it, Travis, because when they hit that preteen
Yeah, that's
phase, they don't. You come like last.
Don't forget, I also have a almost 19-year-old. So already gone through the light. We're already at the light at the other side. She started doing some basically manual inputs for us and stuff. So yeah, like, and the whole attitude and like, hoodies during August thing has gone away. It's nice. It's cool.
That's impressive. We're in the hoodies. So in the summer we wear hoodies,
And in
but
the winter,
winter,
you don't.
we're not cold. I'm never cold.
No,
You have
not at all.
goosebumps. But I'm not
But if
cold.
you ask them why they're wearing a hoodie during the summer, they say it's because it's cold in class. How's it cold out? How is it colder in class than it is outside right now?
Hey, can we do a footwear check? I feel like this should be part of this segment because we were talking about the cold.
Travis
Do you have
wore
flip-flops?
closed-toed shoes today, and has
No,
been.
he didn't.
Yes, he did, and he even wore them to our event the other day.
I reached the point.
Wow.
I reached the point where my feet just get too cold. I'm just too
You are
uncomfortable.
officially old.
Yes, probably. And so I
Officially.
have these that I had bought in Colorado because flip flops did not work going to Colorado Springs and get up to Mount McKinley in early November. It was freezing. Like 16 was the low that one day. So flip flops didn't cut it. So I bought these. And then I also like reached out on Facebook and I had a lot of different suggestions. But I want to give a shout out to a friend of mine, Katie Four, who owns the Elevated Stag. And she basically takes people like me who have no style and is like, here, this is how you should dress. And gave me some pointers on some shoes. None of which I can buy at this moment, but at some point I will probably buy because she said they combine comfort and also looking super professional, which is all I'm really going for.
I could probably use some help with that too, because I like that fashion and
I have no sense of fashion. I have no sense of style.
My head.
I have no idea how I ever had Deanna want to marry me. You know, like I literally just wear t-shirts and jeans all the time.
Well, I hate shopping. Like I never want to step foot in a store where I have to shop. Like it's torture.
No, it takes me back to my childhood where my mom would go take us to the malls on Sundays for like 4 or 5 hours, sometimes not buying a single thing. And then like 3 hours into it, my brother and I, who was only 2 years younger than I, would start chasing each other around the stores after drinking the Dr. Peppers that they would give us back then, you know, and be like, I can't understand why you kids can't sit still. Well, I'm losing my mind, my attention span, and you've caffeinated and given me sugar. So, like, I'm struggling right now, you know?
And then you'd hide under the clothing racks. And then your parents
clothing rack,
you and then
hide and seek was amazing. Definitely knocked over a few of those. Definitely got whooped on a few occasions for doing just that. So, did that stop us? No. But all right. Well, thank you so much, Liz, for joining us, sharing with us your mortgage expertise. Again, Liz
Sorry
Rich,
for my bottle falling and crashing.
What's that?
Sorry that my water bottle fell over and crashed.
Oh, I'd already forgotten about that. So you're good. And thank you as always for coming on. Hopefully we'll have you on in another like 4 or 6 weeks, talk the market again. And like I said, we'll put her contact information in there. The first person you should talk to when you're interested in buying a home is Liz Rich, and she will tell you what you got to do to get there, or she might even be able to tell you, hey, you're ready to buy a home right now. So thank you for that. And thank you as always, Emma, for showing up and showing off cricket. And you're helping me make fun of Lily's 4'11" stature.
And everyone remember, Travis is actually only 5'5".
Shout out to D.
Oh, yes. Lily does want me to remind you that we have our mortgage event coming up. And then I also sent you an invite to a realtor brunch that we're doing on February 11th. So,
what is it? April 17th or something like that?
What's that?
I think April 17th is that event.
Yes. Yeah. And so I think both of those opportunities will be really advantageous for you. So,
I'll be there.
Yeah, I invited what I think are some of the best realtors that I know. So kind of excited to see how the turnout goes. But all right, we'll see you next week. And thank you so much.
Bye.
Awesome. Have a good night.
You too.